So in this video, we're going to discuss the cosine rule. Similar to the other videos, we're not going to derive this as we have done this in a previous video in another series on this channel. We are just going to be applying our cosine rule. Now, on the actual formula sheet, at least for the HSC, the formula you are given is this one over here. Now, cosine rule tells us that the square of one side is equal to another side squared plus another one squared minus 2 times the two smaller sides multiplied by cos c. Now, an important thing to note is that the angle that we are substituting into the formula is the one opposite the angle, or opposite the side c. Okay, so this is the main formula we are going to be using. I'm going to show you how to use it for two examples, one with finding the side and one with finding the angle. Now, to find a given angle, we can just rearrange the formula up here that I've highlighted. So both of these you'll get given on a reference sheet typically in an exam, but just to highlight and bring your attention to it, when we rearrange, I've highlighted the wrong one. When we rearrange this formula in green up here, we will get this one down the bottom here. So one is to find a side, the one on the top here. One is to find an angle down the bottom here. Now, what's important to note with cosine rule is this is what we use when we have three sides, when we're given three sides and one angle. If you remember back to sine rule was two sides, two angles. Cosine rule, three sides, one angle. Now, for example 1, we are asked to find the value of x correct to 2 decimal places. Now, this side x is the one opposite to the given angle that we've been given. So in the formula, in the context of this formula that I've highlighted, this is going to be side C. And that means the other two, doesn't matter which one's A, which one's B, but we can label them as so. Now, cosine rule, we're trying to find a side here. So the formula that we're going to use is the one up the top here. So we're going to say that x squared equals to 6 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 6 times 12 times cos of the angle here, 76. Now, this expression on the right-hand side is going to give us x squared, so the square of x. If I want to just find x then, I have to square root everything on the right here. So I'm going to square root 6 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 6 times 12 times cos 76. So once we have that, we can put it straight into our calculator. We have square root of 6 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 6 times 12 times cos 76. And that is going to give us 12.048 ... And we're asked to give this to 2 decimal places. So this will give us 12.05 because we need to round up. And we haven't been given units, so we can leave this as 12.05. So we're just substituting into the first formula, this one that gives us the length of a side. Now moving on, for example 2, we're trying to find the size of the angle. Now we've got a bit of wording here, but they've given us this in a diagram essentially, right? So what we're trying to find is the size of angle theta. That's the main thing we are trying to find here. But if you notice, by drawing a picture of the scenario, someone shooting a goal at a particular angle, and the goal is 2 meters wide, and these two distances here, we can make a triangle. Now, here, we're looking for an angle, so we are using this formula down the bottom here. So we have cos of the angle, so we can say to find this, cos of theta equals to, now, theta, we're going to call angle C. That's C in our formula over here. So that means the side 2 is going to be little side c, and this can be A, this can be B. So cos of theta is going to be 2.5 squared plus 3.2 squared minus 2 squared. because remember on the top, it's a squared plus b squared minus c squared over 2 times a, which is 2.5, times b, which is 3.2. Okay, now remember here, we're looking for an angle. So anytime we want to find an angle, we can use our calculators to find this, but we have to take the inverse cos to find the angle. So we have to take the inverse cos of this right-hand side. So our angle is going to be inverse cos of 2.5 squared plus 3.2 squared minus 2 squared all over 2 by 2.5 by 3.2. So whenever we want to find an angle, we have to take the inverse cos. But substituting this into our calculator with 2.5 squared plus 3.2 squared minus 2 squared over 2 times 2.5 times 3.2. And this will give us 38.682 dot dot dot. And remember, we have to press our button on our calculator to convert this from just a decimal to degrees minutes. So this button here on our calculator, once we do that, this will give us 38 degrees, 40 minutes, and 55.79 seconds, which, if we're rounding to the nearest minute, this would give us approximately. Now, we're rounding to the nearest minute, so we have to look at the seconds. If it's 30 or more, we have to round up. 55.79 is more than 30, so this is going to give us 38 degrees and 41 minutes. So this is how we can find both the angle and the size of an angle and the length of a side using our cosine rule. And it's going to be one of these two formulas, both of which are given to us on our formula sheet when you actually sit your HSC exam. So we're always going to use this when we're given 3 sides and 1 angle. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.